A game object without an inspector is just a name on the list. A game object is just a container. The inspector is what it gives us all. Today, we master the inspector window, the place where you give your game life, logic, and physics. Let's tweak some setting. Welcome back to Unity Daily. Our motto is simple, one concept at a time. We have learned where a file lives. Now, let's learn how to change them. Subscribe to join the journey and let's get into the details. These daily lessons are designed to be fast and free. If these daily lessons are saving your time, consider supporting the channel via link in the description below. Your coffee keeps the code running. The inspector window is context sensitive. It means it shows the property of whatever you have currently selected. It changes based on what you select. Depending upon what we select, the inspector will display different information. One of the common items to inspect is a game object. Game objects are essentially containers for components, which will decide the behavior of our game object. At the top of the inspector, you will find game object header. Here, you can toggle the active checkbox. When a game object is deactivated, it and all its components are ignored by the game. You will notice its name turn gray in the hierarchy. Here is the icon, where you can change the gizmo icon to help find object in the crowded scene. We can also assign a custom icon from any texture in our asset folder by clicking the other button and selecting our desired icon. Here, you can assign a tag, which is likely a category, such as a player or enemy. The tag drop-down menu allows us to assign a tag to a game object. This tag helps us to identify a game object or group of game objects for reference in our script. The other is layer drop-down menu. The layer drop-down menu allows us to assign our game object to a specific layer within the editor. Layers are useful as we can assign a specific rule to a specific layer, such as a lighting, rendering, collision rules, and change the way any object in this layer behave in our scenes. The static toggle. The static toggle is used to define whether or not a game object is static or should be considered as a candidate for processing, such as light mapping, navigation mesh calculation, occlusion culling, and other specific cases. Static flags can be set individually for specific process if necessary. If you select any prefab instance, the header bar will display the prefab buttons. The prefab button allows us to select and locate our original prefab asset in the project window. If we change prefab instance, we have two options: revert it back to the original prefab or apply the change to the prefab, which update all other instances in the project. Unity works on the component-based system. Think of a game object like a person. The components are the clothes they wear or the tools they carry. Every game object has a transform component. You cannot remove it. It defines whether the game object is positioned, how it's drawn, and how big it is. Some of the other components are like mesh filter, mesh render, and Rigidbody. A mesh filter gives it a shape. A mesh render gives color or texture. A Rigidbody gives it physics. You can add new abilities by clicking the Add Component button at the bottom and searching for what you need, like Box Collider or your own C# script. You can edit multiple objects at once. Select 3 cubes. If their value matches, you will see the number. If they're different, Unity shows the dash. Changing the dash to the number updates all selected objects instantly. Values in the inspector are represented by text box, checkbox, and the menus depending on their types. Also, did you know? These text boxes are calculators. You can type any numeric value and Unity will solve it for you. As there are actions that can change the focus of the inspector window. We can lock the inspector window at any time by clicking the small padlock icon in the top right. They will lock the focus of the current selected item. This can be useful if we wish to keep an inspector window open while we work on another item. Need to look at two objects at once? We can have more than one inspector window open at a time. Click the padlock icon to lock the current view. To open a new inspector window, we can simply click the 3 dots next to the lock and choose the Add tab and select Inspector. This allows us to have one locked instance of the inspector window open and second instance to show the current selection. Finally, there's a debug mode. Click the three dots in the corner and switch from normal to debug. This reveals hidden private variable in your script. Perfect for finding out why your code isn't behaving. It also worth noting that although private variables are displayed in the debug mode, their values cannot be edited. The inspector is built for speed. You don't always have to type numbers. Hover your mouse over the label of numeric field like X position and click drag left right to slide the value. If you mess up, right click on any component, hit reset to return to its default values. You can drag and drop a set like material or script from your project window to directly in the slot in the inspector. We can easily view the documentation for the most component directly from the inspector by clicking the question mark icon, which will open the documentation page for the component and allow us to find out more information about how they used to select the component. Here's a big mistake every beginners make. If you change the value in the inspector while the game is running, those changes will disappear the moment you hit the stop. Always double check that you are not in the play mode before doing some serious work. That is day 3. You know how to customize your game object and add components. Tomorrow, for day 4, we step onto the stage to master the scene view and navigation so you can move around your world like a pro. If you are catching up, the playlist is right here. Hit like, subscribe, and check the Buy Me Coffee link in the description to support free Unity education. I will see you tomorrow.